Hello, Seekers. Thank you for joining me once again today for episode 3 of our playthrough of Overhill and Underhill starter set with the Elven Lord, using the Elven Lord solo mode. And when we left off last time, we had just conducted our first journey, a rather successful journey. We had one challenge for hunting, and then we were able to get a shortcut. And then that shortcut allowed us to move up, and then we had a very successful travel roll, which got us to our destination here on the Crowned Hill. And we were just about to begin our investigation of the Crowned Hill when we left off last time. And so we're coming up to this this barren hilltop here, and it's kind of a desolate place, windy, and short stunted trees, and we see these ancient stones, and there's kind of a rather dark and ominous feeling about the place. So when we come up and look, we see that there is a large decaying carcass that is swarmed by flies, and this is a place of worship for the hill folk of Rudar, and it looks like it's been defiled by something, and it's now tainted with evil. So we probably want to walk up to the pit area and see what's going on. And it looks like the carcass in the pit was savagely slain and partially devoured by some kind of beast, and it clearly belongs to a large horse. And the unfortunate animal may have some information for us. So if we can pass a lore or a hunting check, we can discover some information about this. So why don't we try a lore check? That is Fimberthiel. That is a strength of hers, being an elven scholar. So if we want to do a lore check, we're going to have 3 success die, and then lore is favorite, so we're going to have 2 feat die. So let's get those there, and then with the feat die, we will select the highest number. So let's see if we can uncover something about this pit, using the depth and breadth of lore that Fimberthiel has from many centuries studying in the libraries and collecting ancient data. So we'll take that 5 out of there, and then we're going to be left with 10, 16, and 21, and we got a tongue war, so we got an extra success there. So that should unlock some lore for us. These are half-burnt remains. The mount's bridle may be recognized, having once belonged to one of the Dunedain. And so maybe it belonged to a ranger. Possibly a ranger was singled out and attacked the orcs and the wargs. Tried to attack this lone ranger up here, and we could bury the horse, and I think Fimberthiel would like to cover up the remains in a respectful way, and also as out of respect for the possibly the Dunedain who died here. So Fimberthiel is going to cover up the area a little bit and try to make it look a little bit more respectable, and maybe place some kind of a memorial icon on top of the grave. And there's some other additional information that we could get here from our lore check. We can examine the stones, and there's ancient inscrutable runes written in the language of the hillfolk, and the inscriptions have recently been defiled by unsettling scrawls and foul symbols, and there are markings of an invocation in a debased dialect of the common tongue used by the orcs, praising the mighty queen of the night, the Fang of the North. So these orcs appear to be working with this mighty queen of the night, the Fang of the North, whatever that is. And we can also see that there's an ancient path leading eastward from the crowned hill. And so I think that we can follow that path and see if we can locate the perpetrators of this heinous crime here. And now it says that there is goblins are lingering in the woods around the hill, and they have noticed our approach. They are led by the shrewd orc hunter Hackmog, and they are clad in wolf furs, and they're wearing helms resembling wolf heads, and they carry shields that are crudely painted with wolf shapes. So maybe this queen of the queen of the night, Fang of the North, maybe this is a wolf. And it says that there are as many goblin archers as there are player heroes in the company. So I think for the sake of our Elven Lord, we're going to consider her to be equal to the power of 3 people. So that would mean that there would be 3 goblin archers. And then there's also Hackmog, who is accompanied by a wild wolf. And Hackmog is a hardened veteran, and he spots the company approaching, and he watches them intently from a distance, biding his time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. That would be when the sun is covered or when there is nighttime. So maybe some overcast breaks out, and he's able to attack, because these dark creatures, they do not like to be out in the broad daylight. So if we can pass an awareness roll, we can spot the attackers. Otherwise, they are going to attack first in the opening volley here. So let's go for an awareness roll. And I think our awareness skill is decent. Yeah, we've got 2 in there. It's not favored, however, so we only get 1 feat dice. But we could maybe activate a hope, so I think we should do that. We're going to activate 1 hope point, and because we are considered inspired by being a strider, we're going to get 2 extra dice for that. So let's bring our hope down to 10. We've used 2 hope points so far, and I believe those are not recovered unless you're doing a long rest, which is usually only during the fellowship phase, which is the downtime from an adventure. So let's roll here now and see if we can pass this awareness check. We want to hit 13 or higher. And looks like a pretty low roll here. We're going to have 6, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so we just hit it at 13. So we are not going to be completely caught off guard here. And we're going to be on even footing coming into this battle. So let's get out our playing field here. And actually on the flip side of this map, there is the sort of official battle sheet, and it does have very beautiful art, and it's quite large, but I find it to be pretty impractical, because all of the labels are very difficult to read, and there's no extra information compared to this sheet, which actually tells you what each area does, and which they really could have done on the official sheet, but it's they waste a lot of space on the sides, and they could have printed some of this information. But anyway, we're going to use this one because I think it's more practical and it's very clear and easy to see. And as much as I would like to use the nice art of that, so we're going to start out in the rearward area. This is when you're at distance, because the first step is what is called the opening volley. And now let's get our enemies set up. So we have Hackmog, who is the leader right here. And then Hackmog is flanked by a wild wolf. So that's kind of like his little bodyguard there. And then there's 3 goblin archers are here as well, ready to face us and rain arrows down on us. But because we made that awareness roll, we are going to be able to attack first here in the opening volley. And being an Elven Lord, we get 2 attack phases, so it's equal to 2 main phases of a standard adventurer. So that does help out a lot. And with our with our deadly arrow virtue, we can do a scan check, and if we pass a scan check, then we can get a bonus die to our arrows, which would be considered like an aimed shot. So let's see if we can pass a scan check. Our scan is not too great, but it is favored, so that will help a little bit. So we're going to get one success die, just one success die, but we are going to have a 2 feet die here. So let's see how that goes. And it looks like our highest number is going to be a 6 on the feet die, and then a 5, which is an 11. So that's not going to work. But that is just considered to be a secondary action, so that's just kind of like, if we can get it, great, and if we don't get it, it's fine. It doesn't affect us. But now we're going to target this goblin archer here, and we're going to roll for our first bow strike. And with our bows, we've got 2 success die, so we're going to get 1 feat die and 2 success die, and we're going to try to beat our target strength score of 13. And it looks like we would have done it, but we got the Eye of Sauron, which is makes that a 0. So I believe that would be an automatic failure, but that's pretty sad because we did get 2 6s and 2 tongue wars, so that would have been a really good roll there. So okay, that's going to be a failure. And then let's try again here, and that looks like a really low roll here. Sometimes I can't tell if it's a 7 or a 1 on this thing. I think, okay, that's actually a 7. So we got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So again, we were just under the threshold. So bad luck there with our opening volley. And now they're going to get an opening volley. So these 3 archers are going to get to attack. And I don't know if Hackmog has a ranged attack. I think that maybe he does, but we'll have to see here. I've got his stat sheet somewhere around here. Oh, here it is. And then also these are some more of those quick sheets, and we've got one with combat actions as well, and then also for actions for the adversary. So as you can see, these sheets are highly useful, and we'll probably be using those, consulting those first, and then what we can't find, we will consult in the book there. So let's look at Hackmog and see if he has any ranged attack. He does have a spear, and I believe that he can throw the spear. Pretty sure that he can do that. Let's verify if the spear is throwable. I think it is. I'm going to look at the equipment page here. And the spear, yeah, the spear can be thrown. So I think this will be a good chance for Hackmog to throw his spear. And if you look at his skill, he's got a 2 in spear. So he's going to get a basically the same roll here, a feat die, and then 2 success die. But we're rolling for an adversary here, so I'm going to use the black dice of Mordor. Okay. And Hackmog, he's got a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he would have to beat our parry score, which is 18. So he does not hit there. And we could have also used. Oh, sorry, he actually has a 3 in spear. So let's re-roll that. I was looking at the wrong thing here. I was looking at the orc soldier spear. So let's re-roll his roll. And that looks like a little bit better roll. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So again, he doesn't hit because he needs to beat our parry of 18. So he didn't hit us there. And yeah, he could use a hate point to do some other stuff. Let's see what he's got. So he hates the sunlight. Okay, he's not attacking in sunlight. He picked his time to attack. So right now we have an overcast time, or maybe it's like early evening or something. And he could spend 1 hate point to restore a hate point to all the other orcs and goblins in the fight. Okay, that's pretty powerful ability there. All right, now we're going to look at the goblin archers. They've got a bow of horn, and that gives them 3 success dice, so that's pretty good for them. So let's roll for the first one. And he has got, looks like pretty low roll there, 14. Or no, sorry, that's 11. So yeah, he's not going to hit us there. And then the next archer, he's got, oh, he got an Eye of Sauron, and for them, that's actually a good thing. That's like if we get the Gandalf rune. So if we look here, so this is an automatic hit for these guys. And did he get a 6 as well? Yeah, he also got a 6. So that's going to be a pretty good one right there. So he can do a heavy blow, and he's going to add his attribute level to the damage here. What's his attribute level? Okay, 2. So that would be a +2 damage. So this is an automatic hit, and his damage, his base damage is going to be 3. His base damage is going to be 3, and then he would add 2, so that would be 5 damage. And I think that they can get a piercing blow. Can they get a piercing blow when they roll the Eye of Sauron? Yeah. So when the feat die is a 10 or the rune, they can get. We have to do a protection check to see if we get a piercing blow or not. So this could be pretty bad right here. So let's do a protection check. So our protection is 2d +2. So that's basically. Can't remember if you roll a feat die for that or not. We're going to roll a feat die plus the success dice equal to your armor. Okay, so we're going to roll 1 feat die plus 2 success die, and then we're also going to add 2 to the overall roll there. So we got a 7, and that's going to be 6 and 3 is 9. So we got 16, 17, 18. And then let's see what's his injury rating on his weapon. His injury rating is 14. So we actually will successfully absorb that with our armor as far as the piercing blow. But now if you do the protection test, then you do not get a wound. Okay, now wounds are pretty bad because if you get, usually if you get 1 to 2 wounds, depending on how bad the wound is, you can die. So we're not going to get a wound, but we are going to suffer some damage here. We're going to suffer 5 points of damage. So right here we've got Finbethril's hit points. So we're going to go ahead and wipe out a whole line right there. She has 25 hit points or 25 endurance points. And I'm going to go ahead and add Hackmog and the Wolf and the 3 goblins on here, and I will come back. Okay, I am back, and I added the hit points for all of the enemies here, so we'll be able to keep track of their endurance points. And now we still need to roll for the last goblin archer, so he's going to have 1 feat dice and 3 success dice. Let's see what he gets. And he has got the Gandalf rune, which basically is going to be a failure. So when the enemies get the Gandalf rune, they get an automatic failure or like a 0. And then when they get the Eye of Sauron, that's when they get the automatic hit. And then for us, it's the opposite. So, okay. So now we have completed the opening volleys. Now we're going to move into the close quarter rounds. The first thing we need to do is we need to choose our stance, and we're going to go into the open stance. And in this stance, there's no advantage or disadvantage. If we went into the forward stance, we would get a +1 hit dice advantage, but the enemy would also get a +1 hit dice advantage as well. So now the enemies are going to pair up with us. And basically the wolf and Hackmog are going to pair up with us, and then because these guys are engaging us, these archers are free to stand back and keep fighting from a distance, which offers them a little bit more protection. So we've got Hackmog and the Wild Wolf fighting us here. So now we're going to attack Hackmog, and now we're going to be using our Great Spear, which we have 3 skill in. So we'll go with the Great Spear and 3 success dice, and I think I'm going to use another hope dice here because we have a lot of enemies to face, and we already took a pretty good hit, even though we were lucky enough not to get wounded. And actually, I may have calculated the damage wrong because I think that Elven Lords take half damage. Let's see. Yeah, all endurance losses caused by attacks are halved. So we round up. So actually, instead of taking 5 points of damage, we should take 3 points of damage. So let me erase those 2 points of damage there. So we have taken 3 points of damage so far. All right, so we're going to use another hope point here. That's going to bring us down to 9. And that's going to give us 2 more success dice on this roll. And we're going to go ahead and go for Hackmog because I think that we can possibly, if we can kill Hackmog, we can trigger some kind of a morale check for the other ones. I'll look up what the rules on that if we get there, but we're going to go for Hackmog. So let's go with our attack roll here. And we've got an 8 on the feat die, and then totaling these up, we've got 8, 10, 12, 18, and then 26. So that's a very good roll there. And then we've got 1 tongue war as well. So what we can do with that tongue war is we can upgrade our attack. We could also, because we're using a piercing weapon, we can modify the feat die for +3 for spears. And if we did that, let's see, if we modified it by +3, that's actually going to give us an 11, which would be, I think 11 is the Eye of Sauron, so we don't want to do that. Or 11, yeah, 11 is the Sauron, I think. So no, we'll stay with the 8. So we'll go to a heavy blow, and that's going to allow us to add our strength to our weapon damage here. So for damage, we're looking at 5 plus. Let's see. And Hackmog, I think he's an orc. Is he an orc? Oh, he is an orc. Okay, so we also have the Bane modifier here as well, and the Bane is going to mean more damage. Let's see what the Bane does. Because we do have Orc Bane on our weapon. And okay, it doesn't say in there what Bane does, so I might have to find this somewhere else. Alright, I'm gonna have to look this up in the main rulebook, it looks like. See if we can find Bane in the index. Okay. So I thought there was another usage of Bane, but it looks like the only thing that is going to do in this case is well, it looks like it's not going to do anything as far as I can tell, because we don't have an enchantment that allows us to use Bane for anything. So okay, I guess it won't do anything. I thought there would be a little bit more to that, but okay. So, and then Hackmog, I think he is going to, let's see, so his parry is +2. Okay, so we would add his +2 to our strength that we would have to pass, and we re-rolled. What did we roll? We rolled like a 24, so we're well over our strength. So our normal strength would be 13 with his parry modifier. That's 15, so we're well over that. So we have absolutely succeeded in hitting him. We're going to do the heavy blow, which is going to add our strength of 5 to our attack, and that's going to be a total of 10 damage to Mr. Hackmog over here. And he does have an armor of 3, and I believe that would come into effect if we were going to do a piercing blow. Okay, yeah, so his armor only comes into effect for a piercing blow, so we're going to do a total of 10 damage here to Hackmog, and that's a pretty good hit on him. And he has a total of 16, so we're going to be wiping out more than half of his hit points there in one shot, so that's pretty good. But now we have to deal with a lot of other attacks, but we do get one more attack, being that we are an Elven Lord, so I think we better attack Hackmog again, and this time I'm not going to spend a hope point. We've already spent quite a few, so we'll just get our standard roll here, and it looks like we might be a little low here, so we got 5, 6, 7, and 13, and that's not going to hit because Hackmog has a +2 parry, so we would have to beat 15, so we do not hit Hackmog. And now it is going to be Hackmog's turn, and he's going to attack with his looks like he's got some kind of a mace or something there. Oh, it says he has a scimitar. Okay, I can't really see his scimitar, but all right, so Hackmog's going to attack with the scimitar. He's got 3 success dice, and he could spend a hate to restore 1 hate to all the other orcs. Okay, we don't need to do that right now, so let's go ahead and have him attack, and that looks like an 8, 9, and 14, and I believe that's not going to hit. He would have to beat the parry score of 18 to hit, so he does not hit this time. And I wonder if Hackmog, if he gets 2 attacks per turn. I think that he does not. But maybe next time we'll use a hate point, because then he could add another hit die, I believe. So, all right. And then the wolf is also going to attack us. And the wolf got 3 with the fangs. And let's see if he can spend some hate. So the creature loses 1 hate at the start of each round. It is engaged in close combat with an adversary wielding a torch. Okay, so that's not that. When targeted by an attack, it can spend 1 hate point to make the attack ill favor. Okay, so he doesn't really have anything else special there. So, all right, let's go with, oh, we got the Mordor, and then, oh, he got 2 tongue wars as well. So that's pretty bad for us. So he gets an automatic hit, and that's also going to be a piercing blow. And with 2 tongue wars, he can really lay into us here. Because now he's got special damage, so he can he could trigger heavy blow twice. So yeah, it looks like he could trigger heavy blow twice. Break shield is not going to matter if we don't have a shield. And he doesn't need to modify his feat die because he's already got a piercing blow. So yeah, he's going to basically do a double heavy blow here. And the only thing that we can do is that we can try to roll a protection roll, which is going to be 2d plus 2. So we want to hope that this protection roll works. We could spend a hope point here to add more, but I think we're not going to do that. So hopefully this is a good roll. And it looks not too good. So we got 13, 14, 15, and that needs to beat his injury score, which is 14. So actually we did beat him. Okay, so we don't get a we do not get a wound, which is good because wounds can be deadly. But we are going to take a double heavy blow here. So let's total this up, his damage. So that's going to be 3 damage, plus his attribute level of 3, so that's going to be 3, 6, 9. So that's going to be 9 damage. We half that down. That's going to be like 5 damage. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to do 5 damage to us, and that's a pretty good hit for these guys. All right, now we got the 3 archers. They've all got the 3 hit dice, and let's see if they can activate hate for anything useful. No, nothing there. So, all right, roll for the archers, and oh my god, we got another Mordor, so that's really bad. And then another heavy blow as well from the Tungwar, so we're gonna have to roll again to see if we can absorb this hit and not have to take a wound. And it looks like we got 6, 7, 8, so I think that's going to be it too low. Yeah, so his injury score is 14, so we are going to take an injury here. And the rules for the Elven Lord on the injury are a little bit special. If an Elven Lord is wounded for the first time, they do not make any wound severity roll, and instead it is considered as a Gandalf rune on the wound severity table. So, what is the Gandalf rune going to be? I'm pretty sure it means that you more or less shake it off and you don't have any really bad thing happen. So, okay, so it is a moderate injury, and it's violent enough to expose you to the risk of worse consequences if you are injured again, but there's no real lasting damage. At the end of the combat, you will recover fully within a matter of hours, but we do need to check the wounded box. So the first wound for an Elven Lord is not too deadly, but the second wound is the one that can possibly kill you. So we're already hurting here. This is pretty tough. Maybe choosing equal to 3, equal to a party of 3 was the wrong move. We'll see. All right, please not another. Okay, so he got 12 and 15, 17. So he did not break through our parry. Luckily, we're really lucky on that. And then one more archer here. And oh my god, another freaking Mordor. And then they got 2 Tungwars as well. Oh my god. So very bad. So he can do a double heavy blow here. And also, I think we didn't take the damage from this guy, so he's gonna do he is going to do 3 damage, and then that'd be 6, and then half, so it's gonna be 3. So we're going to take 1, 2, 3 more, and then we need to do another parry check. We are going to spend a hope point here and get 2 more dice for this protection check. And all right, so we got 10, 16, 22, and 24. So we're totally good there. I don't think tongue wars mean anything on a protection check, unfortunately. I wish there was actually something that they could mean, but I don't think they mean anything. But anyway, we're not going to take a wound, which is really good. But we are going to take, he got a double heavy blow, so we're going to take 9 damage. We're going to round that to 5. So we're rapidly taking a lot of damage here. We've only got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've only got 9 endurance left. So we are rapidly getting attacked here. So we're going to have to probably start spending a lot of hope points to survive. We're going to go down to 8 on the hope points. And now it is our turn. So we will attack Hackmog, and I'm going to see if maybe there's some kind of a morale check if we can defeat Hackmog. So, but anyway, let's activate another hope point so that we can make sure that we take out Hackmog here. So we're going to roll. We're going to use 1 hope point, and that would be, we would actually get 1 more die there because we have 3 on the Great Spear. So, all right, we're looking at, we got 2 tongue wars. We're looking at 12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, so with the 2 tongue wars, we can get a double heavy blow here. Unfortunately, we do not get a piercing blow. And that's going to be 15 damage right there. And that will bring Hackmog down. So we deliver a piercing blow. Well, not a piercing blow, but we deliver a very heavy strike that maybe causes Hackmog to bleed out. So Hackmog is down, and he will go down here dead. And let's see if there's any kind of a morale check or anything for defeating Hackmog, and when that would actually occur. Yeah, so if Hackmog is slain, then the Wild Wolf and any remaining goblins flee. So we do have one more attack if we want to use it, but I think we're just going to let these guys flee. So they're all going to run away after Hackmog was defeated there. And wow, if it wasn't for the fact that Hackmog's little minions are kind of skittish, we would not have survived that fight. And we took a lot more damage than I thought we would have. So I think maybe in the future fight we will consider it to be just one person. So that would have meant one goblin archer. And I'm starting to see here that I think the Elven Lord, they're certainly very capable of dealing out a lot of damage and things like that, but they are certainly not invincible. So, but anyway, when we come back next time, we will see what we're going to do about healing up our wounds here, because we've took some serious damage. We do have a wondrous item that gives us a plus to healing, so maybe that's something that we can employ, but we're going to have to look that up and see what we can do. And hopefully we can find a place to rest after that perilous battle that we only survived by the skin of our teeth. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.